As I was doing my mascara, I was looking really closely into this mirror, and this area here looks so... Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm really excited actually because a couple weeks ago, I would say, I got a really huge package from Makeup Revolution full of a ton of their products, including their concealers, which are getting a lot of hype right now, and eyeshadow palettes, some highlighters, some blushes, and I've never tried this brand out before. This is a drugstore brand. It's available at Ulta. They recently redid their entire display. I just feel like they're really kind of, I don't know, upping the brand, and it seems like a really great, affordable yet luxurious type of brand. So I'm wanting to really test out some of these products that I was sent. And then the rest of my face I'm just going to be doing with my current drugstore favorites or things that I've really been loving from the drugstore. So that's kind of this video. It's just going to be kind of like a first impressions, and then later I'm going to do a little check-in so we can see how, you know, all the Makeup Revolution products held up on my face. And so I'm hoping, I have my fingers crossed, that there's going to be some really great items in here. So let's just get to it, shall we? So I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with C2. And since we're going to play with a new eyeshadow palette, I'm going to prime my eyelids with this concealer first. Really, really love this applicator. It's very Tarte Shape Tape-esque. It's a really large doe foot applicator, which I personally really like in a concealer. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the eyelid and then just pat it out with this Beauty Blender. So far, that concealer provided a lot of coverage on my eyelids, so I'm really liking that. The true test will be like the under eye area, so we'll have to wait for that. I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. You guys know I love this. And I'm going to dust a nice light layer over top of the concealer so that we can go into our eyeshadow. Okay, so out of all of the eyeshadow palettes that I received, this one seemed the most intriguing and the most me, if that makes sense. So this is the 24 karat gold chocolate eyeshadow palette. There are 16 shades in here. I've opened this one and I've kind of swatched them, but I've never put them on my eyes. But look how cool the packaging is. I think it's really, really beautiful. And the best part are these colors right here on the inside. I think they're so pretty. I don't really know what kind of look I want to do today, but we will find out, I guess, as we go. I'm going to start off with this shade right here called Stone because it's a peachy matte shade, and you guys know how much I love those. Actually, I lied. I'm going to go into this matte shade right here called Luster, and I'm going to just start applying this from the brow bone down to about the crease area. I feel like this is pretty much identical to my skin color, so it's not really like showing up extremely, just kind of blending in, but that's okay. I just want the same formula of the rest of the eyeshadows in this area. Okay, now I'm going to go into that peachy shade called Stone, and I'm just going to sweep this back and forth as my transition shade. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's definitely a really buildable shadow, which I personally really like in shadows because then you can kind of blend them out better, in my opinion. I'm not too worried about the shadows over here. We'll clean that up with a makeup wipe later, so I'm just making sure to kind of blend it out all over this transition shade area. Next, I'm taking this shade right here called Gilded, and I'm going to run this through the crease just to add a little bit of definition there. It's a really nice taupey brown color. Next, I'm going to go into this brownish red shade right here called Crown, and I'm adding some definition to the outer third of the upper lid, kind of taking it in a diagonal and then taking what's left on the brush and further defining the crease. Next, I'm going to hop into this gorgeous champagne shade right here called Gem, and I'm going to add this shade to the inner third of the eye, just on the eyelid till about halfway. Now I'm going to take this shade right here called Rock, and I'm going to press this between the dark shade and that champagne shimmer shade just to create a little bit more of a gradient. So now I'm just going to wipe underneath the eyes for any fallout, and then also sharpen up this outer edge here, and then I'm just going to pat the edges down with my fingers so that they're not too harsh, since this is kind of more of a soft look. Alright, let's prime the skin with the Maybelline Master Prime Hydrate and Smooth Primer. I really like this. I've talked about it quite a bit. I like it because it feels a little bit more like a moisturizer, kind of combined with like a typical primer. So I really like the formula of this. I'm just gonna apply that everywhere. And now I'm gonna go into my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. I can't stop wearing this. I honestly love it. And I'm just going to apply this all over the skin. I like to apply it everywhere with a brush first, just to kind of evenly distribute the product. And then I will press in the brush lines, if there are any, with a sponge. So now let's go back into the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer conceal and contour concealers. I'm gonna go back into the shade C2, and I wanna use this underneath the eyes. I don't really know how much you need. I don't know, let's start off with that much. I'm just gonna do one eye at a time today, just to kind of see how much we're going to need. I'm just gonna pat that out with a sponge. So it's definitely a little bit more of a medium coverage. I know some people compared this to Tarte Shape Tape, but I think the applicator is similar, but I'm not really seeing the similarity in formula because Tarte Shape Tape is just so full coverage. But this is looking really nice actually. Kind of smooths out the under eyes, which I really like. So let's blend it out under this eye. I'm also going to add some in the center of the forehead here, down the center of the nose, Cupid's bow, and chin, and just blend that all out. Then I'm going to take the shade C3 and do a little spot concealing. I'm adding just a tiny bit more under the eye area. It builds up really nicely. So there we have it with the concealer, and I do really like the finish of this. I like how smoothing it is underneath the eyes and in the center of the face. So far so good. I'm excited to see how this wears throughout the day, or evening I should say, throughout the night. All right, let's set this down with my go-to Maybelline Fit Me powder. I might mix two shades, Fair and Fair Light. Fair is just a little bit too light sometimes, so I do like to mix it depending. Let's try it by itself first and see what happens. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the Fair powder down the center of the face and under the eyes, and then I'll use Fair Light around the perimeters. I really like how this powder is looking on top of that concealer. It's a really good combo. I'm just gonna set the rest of the foundation. Hopping back into the eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna take that peachy matte shade we used, and I'm going to work this on the lower lash line. I love this shade. It is so pretty. I'm making sure to kind of blend it and connect it to the existing shadows on the top. Then I'm taking that brownish red shade, and I'm going to apply this to the outer third of the lower lash line, closer to the lash line, just to kind of deepen that up there. Next, I'm going to take that champagne shade right here that we used kind of to brighten up this inner part here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the inner corner and drag it on the inner third of the lower lash line. I just kind of want that area to be bright. So now I'm going to bring some definition back to the eyes. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer and then go in with my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. I'm going to do about 2 coats of mascara. I want it to be pretty lashy. I'm really into that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the primer. And now I'm going to apply some mascara. Oh no! I hate when that happens. Dang it. I'm just gonna wait for that to dry and then try to buff it off. While we wait for it to dry though, as I was doing my mascara, I was looking really closely into this mirror, and this area here looks so good from the concealer. Usually I have larger pores here, and you know, I'm not too concerned about like erasing them completely, but that concealer definitely filled in the pores and made it look so much more flawless underneath my eye area, so I really like that. Well, folks, I'm really trying to get this mascara off. That's like as good as it's gonna get right now. Okay, I wonder if this concealer will help me. Usually when I get like a little flake, it comes right off, but this was like, I really jabbed it, so whoops. I'm just patting a little bit of the shade C4. I'm just gonna set that with a little Maybelline powder. Good as new. Yay, I think that worked. So it also works to fix your mascara marks. I'm just gonna warm up the skin with some CoverGirl True Blend Bronzer. I just like to dust this around like the outside of the face. And this product is really great to use when you don't really want like a contoured look as much as a all over bronzed look. So I just kind of take like a fluffy brush, just kind of pat it over the center of the face where the sun would naturally hit, and then along like the hairline. And now I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Blushing Hearts Triple Baked Blusher in the shade Peachy Keen Heart. I felt like a peach blush would look really pretty with that eyeshadow palette. So let's see how this works. Here's what it looks like on the inside. This looks so much like the Too Faced blushes. I don't actually own any of those blushes, so I can't tell you how it compares. But this whole like boxed heart-shaped thing is just like Too Faced. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and apply it to the cheeks. That's actually really pretty. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, so if you aren't into that, you might not like it, but it actually doesn't translate too sparkly on the skin. For highlight, I'm gonna take the Makeup Revolution Triple Baked Highlighter in the shade Goddess of Faith. I thought this was so pretty in the packaging, so I'm really excited to try this out. I'm just gonna take this on my highlight brush. It looks like it picked up a lot of product. Oh my goodness. That is extremely pigmented. Whoa. I'm gonna put some down the center of the nose, Cupid's bow, a little bit above the brows, and of course on the cheekbones here, dragging it to the front of the cheeks a little bit. This is so pigmented. It's crazy. I'm going to take a little bit of that and actually pop it in the inner corner of the eye. It's got a really pretty pinky undertone. And I'm also going to put it underneath the highest point of the brow. So just right in the arch. I'm trying to kind of blend it out and tone it down on the front of the cheeks because it's so blinding. I just wiped off the foundation on my lips. And now let's set the face. I'm going to go into my CoverGirl Look Lock Up All Day Setting Mist. It smells really good. It smells like cucumbers. I'm just kind of lightly pressing onto the skin with the sponge. Sometimes I just like to do this to help the setting spray kind of sink into the skin a little more, but I'm just pressing really lightly so we don't mess up the makeup. For lips, yeah, this is perfect. I'm gonna go in with my favorite NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. It's in the shade London. And then I'm gonna set the brows with my Glossier Boy Brow. This one is in the shade Blonde. Okay, so that completes the makeup look, you guys. It is currently 6:14, almost 6:15 p.m. I have several errands to run, and so I'm just gonna kind of like go out and see how this ends up looking by the end of the night. I'm excited to see how this holds up. I love how everything looks right now. The eyeshadows blended out really beautifully. I think it's just really soft and smoky, which I love. Again, the concealer looks great under my under eyes. The highlight is very poppin'. I usually don't go for something this strong, but I actually don't mind it. I think it's really nice with the soft everything else. What else do we put on? The blush. The blush is really pretty as well. I'm interested to see how long that lasts. So I will do a check-in, but I hope you guys like that tutorial. I hope you like this makeup look. I know it's very me, a nudie peach monochromatic look. Oh my gosh. So exciting, but I personally love these looks. But so far so good. I really, really like how these look, and I can't wait to see how they wear. So I will check back in a few hours. All right, you guys, I'm checking in a little later than planned. It is 12:30 in the morning, at night. Is it 12:30 a.m.? It's really late. So I'm looking at the makeup and the concealer looks really good under my eyes still. Like there's no creasing, no separating. There's a little bit of separation around my nose, but honestly that happens with every foundation and every concealer. But everything else on my face looks really nice. My eyeshadow is still on. My eyeshadow might have faded like slightly, but the blush is still on. Like everything looks really great. So I'm really impressed with these products. I believe the concealer retails for around $7 or $8, so that's so affordable. Again, I love the smoothing effect that it gave to my skin, so if you're looking for something that smooths over pores and things like that, I feel like this did a really good job of that. I love the eyeshadows. I really like the blush as well. The highlight is still looking really, really nice. I can't wait to try out more from Makeup Revolution. If you guys have any products from Makeup Revolution that you love, would you please comment them down below, because this is a brand that I'm super new to, obviously, and I want to keep trying out more products, but I would honestly recommend everything that I tried today. This looks really good still, I think. And so double thumbs up to Makeup Revolution. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love finding great affordable products. So definitely go check out these Makeup Revolution products. The concealer is worth the hype in my opinion. I really love how it stayed on the skin. Hasn't separated at all. Really impressed. Let me know if you like seeing these types of first impression videos, especially for drugstore products, by leaving a comment down below or by liking the video so I know if you guys like seeing these videos and I can keep making them. I love you all so much and I'm so grateful for every single one of you. You all are so amazing. I don't even know if I can express that enough in words to you guys, but sometimes I'll like stalk you on Instagram and you are all some of the most beautiful and most just radiant women I've ever seen in my whole life, and I'm so grateful that we're all a part of this community here on YouTube, and I'm so grateful for all of you and your support, and I just can't thank you enough. So thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, join the family by hitting the subscribe button on your way out. And if you want to be a part of the notification squad, just hit the little bell after you click subscribe and you'll be notified every time I upload. So that's it, you guys. I hope you have an amazing weekend and I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye! Guys, I got a new chair at TJ Maxx and it is so cute. I wonder if I can show you. Look at my chair! I'm so happy. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's a little bonus something, and that was probably really hard to see, but I'm so thrilled about this TJ Maxx chair. Go to TJ Maxx if you want to find good chairs. Okay, bye.